Oxford Technology and Media is a small and like-minded band of media and technology specialists who came together to celebrate the world-class talent and expertise that is local to this great city. Oxford's reputation as a world centre for publishing and media is well known. What is less known is that as a centre for high technology, it is equally successful. While each has its challenges and fascinations, the intersections where these two great industries meet are where we find the most interest. The goal of the network has always been to expand the thinking and networking of senior media and technology folk connected to Oxford. Membership stands at around 500 people and is drawn from senior executives, independent creatives and entrepreneurs. While membership is selective, but without charge, our main criteria for accepting new members is that they have something they are willing to contribute to the greater good. Indeed, many members get an equal amount of insight at an event from the networking discussions with their peers. The Network Board puts their time in for free, and event programming has been run to date with the enlightened support of sponsors such as Grant Thornton and Freeth Solicitors. For 12 years, we've covered all sorts of topics, from 3D film to healthcare, music recording and autonomous cars, intellectual property to leadership. We have attracted a flow of world-class speakers and panels who have brought insight to our members and gained from a high level of interaction with network members. Alumni speakers have included professors, presidential advisors, government ministers, head of special forces, blockchain founders, and a wide range of entrepreneurs and visionaries.
How would you define an entrepreneur?
Well, I think firstly you're someone who sees the world and sees the opportunity and then decides to do something about it. And the opportunity being to do something in the world that's better, and you're doing something better that's for profit. I mean, so it's not like being an artist deciding you can paint a brilliant picture. It is actually finding a problem and solving it, where the solving of it creates more resources than actually you expend in order to produce whatever it is you're doing. So that's what being an entrepreneur is, and it's corralling all those different things you need to do whilst putting 7 teacups on your nose and balancing on a tightrope in a gale. So apart from that, it's really very straightforward.
There's over 850 tools of market research. There's over 850 monolithic platforms on how to ask a human a question or understand something about a human. And that's the first fundamental challenge, is that a market researcher who's trained as a social scientist has to now go and review 850 platforms and say, I think the question you're asking is this, and here's 6 platforms that can maybe do it. I'll play with one of them and stitch it together. So one of the big things is actually backing it out and going, we've kind of over-technologied the human aspect of this. It's always about having a human in the process, and humans are really good. I kind of use this quite a bit. Technology is good at finding what is. Humans are good at finding what isn't. We're incredibly critical thinkers. We're good at creative. We're good at plugging gaps and plugging holes. We're really good at that. Technology can only read what is given. It can look for those gaps. It can be trained to look for those things, but it has to be trained by a human to do it. And there will always be an element of a human to do that. It has to happen that way. I think it's the only way you can build.
This is a clip from Audio Motion Promo with Brian describing how they work.
So you've got 60 or 70 cameras on this setup. Basically, they triangulate where the markers are that are on the actor. They track his movements throughout the space, and then we can reconstruct that. Once we're in that virtual environment, then we can spin around and view it from any angle. It's really useful for the director, so if he wants to frame a shot from a certain angle or check different views of that scene, it gives them the ability to do so in real time.
By way of introduction, I worked in newspapers for a very long time, and actually from before the World Wide Web, I remember someone showing me the World Wide Web when there were about 20 websites and going, isn't this amazing? And me saying, yes! What is it? Before that we had a Gopher site, which was real, well actually university people know what Gopher sites are, but it was before that. And I've watched the World Wide Web emerge and the internet emerge and develop, and I thought I'd start with a question, because I remember at the start it was so exciting. Everything was possible. There were no rules. We could create this world for ourselves. I was a sysop on CompuServe. That's how long in the tooth I am. They used to pay me to run a forum on there, and they did it better than anyone on the internet does it right now. And it was incredibly exciting. And all of us, and in the news media in particular, we just got obsessed with the idea that we could energetically move towards something that would be better. So we sat in News International, my employer, Murdoch publishing company in London, thinking, let's just focus all our efforts on building an audience, because where we build an audience, eventually it'll come good, and this is the way of the future. So we did it, and we're still doing it. Newspapers are still at it. They're building huge audiences online. But as we all know, things aren't going so well. It's turned out a bit disappointing. The internet, so if you're a newspaper, totally disappointing, huge audience, no money, definitely a problem. But actually for us users, ordinary users, it's a bit disappointing. Everyone's a bit nervous of Google and Facebook these days. No one's quite sure who's watching, listening, or otherwise involved in what they're doing online.
As we grow as an organisation, we find ourselves spending more time listening and acting as a voice for our diverse community. With so much change in the world, and also so many small independents, it's really important to help each other and connect people, organisations, and our membership to help solve practical problems. As business leaders, we face economic and societal challenges at sector and regional levels, and are now also asked to address pressing environmental concerns. The United Nations Sustainability Goals, UN SDGs, are a global framework being used by progressive companies to negotiate these sometimes competing demands. Wendy Stone of the Oxford Technology and Media Network runs workshops to learn more about the SDGs framework and how it can be used by businesses. The centrepiece of the evening is the 2030 SDGs game, a facilitated interactive card game that simulates what will happen in the world between now and 2030. During the game, you experience firsthand how the 17 SDGs are interconnected and what it will take to create a balanced world where business can flourish. The game was developed in Japan, where it is used by major companies like Hitachi, Unilever, and Fuji Xerox. They value the game to help their teams understand the global challenges facing business while reinforcing their sense of purpose. Game players also build collaboration and big-picture business skills. We can offer this opportunity to all companies and members because Wendy Stone, an OTMN board member, is a UK facilitator for the 2030 SDGs Game Workshop. We believe that the long-term outlook for our industries has never been more positive, but right now the short-term problems are even more acute. As a community, we're here to help. Equally, if you can help our community, even better. If you would like to join the Oxford Technology and Media Network, look us up on our website.